Greetings everyone, this is Danny from HarrTravel.com, your Royal Caribbean experts, and today I'm really excited that I get to talk about one of my favorite places on earth, and that's Alaska. As you would probably know, I love to cruise, my family loves to cruise, but one of our favorite places to cruise is Alaska because you get so much more out of it. You get all the awesome things that you get on a cruise ship, whether you want to go skydiving, you want to ride bumper cars, or just have an incredible meal. But in addition to that, while you're cruising, you get incredible scenic cruising. I don't think I've ever done an Alaska cruise where I didn't see whales and dolphins from the ship. You get this beautiful scenery as you're going in and out of ports, and then of course you get incredible scenic cruising as well. To top it off, it's a short flight or drive away for most Americans, so you too can love Alaska like we do. If you're interested in 2022, listen up as I dig into what Royal Caribbean will be doing in Alaska for 2022. So let's talk a little bit about what options are available for Alaska in general. The first and most popular by far is an inside passage cruise that leaves from Seattle round trip. This is where you're going to find most of the biggest ships in the industry, and it makes a lot of sense. It's pretty inexpensive for Americans to get to Seattle, and in addition to that, you don't necessarily have to have a passport to cruise from there. So there's a lot of reasons why it's incredibly popular. Now, in addition to that, you see a lot of cruise lines that offer Vancouver round trip. Vancouver is only about 3 hours drive from Seattle, just north of there, but it does expand the options because Vancouver is, of course, a foreign port. Now, if you cruise out of there, you're going to have a passport 100% of the time, but it's a fantastic option as well. In addition to that, you see these classic northbound and southbound itineraries. What usually happens is they're combined with the tour at the front or the back to create what's called a cruise tour. Basically, you have a 7-day cruise. Think about starting in Vancouver, heading up, you disembark near Anchorage, and then you can hop on a train. There's lots of different options there. But basically, you head up into Denali National Park, and even in some cases as far north as Fairbanks. What you do there is this cruise tour combination package. It's all done through the cruise line. It's very seamless, so you kind of get the best of both worlds. So for 2022, Royal Caribbean has the same lineup of ships as they had in 2021. From Seattle round trip, that's going to be the Quantum and the Ovation. From Vancouver round trip, that's going to be the Serenade of the Seas. And from Vancouver up to Anchorage and back, the 7-night northbound southbounds are going to be operated by the Radiance. Let's dig into the Seattle sailings first. So these are operated by the biggest ships that Royal has in Alaska, the Quantum and the Ovation. Now these ships are perfectly built for Alaska for so many reasons. There's a ton of inside spaces. I love that the Seaplex and the solarium pool is completely enclosed, so you can take advantage of all those things while you're cruising in Alaska. In addition to that, you can go skydiving while you're in Alaska, complimentary feature on board their ship, or you can take the North Star all the way up to check out Alaska from a completely different perspective. Once again, these ships are specifically built for Alaska, and I think Royal Caribbean did an incredible job with that. Now they're going to do classic itineraries, Seattle round trip that generally stop in Skagway, Ketchikan, and Juneau. Those are the big 3 ports. In fact, we do have some guides on our YouTube channel if you want to check those out as well and see what we offer there. But what we know is that Royal Caribbean hits it out of the park with those because they're what everybody expects in Alaska. This is where you can go dog sledding, you can go fishing, you can head up to a glacier that you can explore up close and personal. They have incredible helicopter and flight seeing options, but really these are the big 3 ports. They can accommodate the biggest ships that go to Alaska, and they have a ton of options going from there. Now keep in mind that these are not all the same itineraries. Make sure that you check that carefully because some of them trade off one port maybe to add on Sitka. Others, it looks like, may not have a total glacial viewing, but it looks like virtually all of these do visit Endicott Arm and Gause glaciers. This is an incredibly popular option in Alaska, and this is the scenic cruising that you come to expect with going to Alaska. The ship's going to head in through a beautiful fjord, and then you're going to get to the very end. You're going to see these glaciers. If you're lucky, you'll get to see some calving. This is when the glacier's ice starts coming off. It's really a cool thing, but this is where you're going to get that incredible scenic experience. And keep in mind, the ship goes out, it turns around completely, and it heads back out. So if you want to stay on your balcony, or maybe you have one of those incredible star class suites on the aft of the ship, you're going to get to see it from every single angle. We love these options so much that I actually am adding an additional Harr Travel come-along cruise. This is where you can join us, take advantage of some private offerings, get some extra bonus amenities, but just cruise to Alaska with us. We're going to be going on the Ovation of the Seas. This is the 15th of July, 2022. So if you'd like to sign up, let us know right away. We do have all the Star Class reserved for you if you want to grab one of those options. Other than that, just let us know, and we would love for you to join us. Now we'll head just a little bit north of Seattle to Vancouver, where the Serenade will be sailing weekly round trip. Now, because she sails from Vancouver, she doesn't have to stop in another Canadian port, whereas the Ovation and the Quantum, they're gonna all stop in Victoria, British Columbia, so that they can meet that requirement. So this is gonna generally give you an extra port, which is one of the reasons why people cruise out of Vancouver. Now, that port in several cases is Haines, Alaska. We absolutely love this port. It's a port that hasn't really been utilized by cruise ships very often, and they're building a dock specifically for this. In addition to that, they visit the big three: Ketchikan, Juneau, Skagway, and they also have some stops in Sitka as well. They're also going to have some glaciers. In fact, I've done pretty much all of the glaciers during my time cruising in Alaska. We've done it nearly 20 times now. And what I find is that they're virtually all the same. It's usually the weather and some other components that impact the experience. If it's been really hot for a couple days in a row, they may not be able to get quite as close because there could be more ice flow. But if it's earlier in the season, or if it's been cooler for quite a few days, you can get up close and personal. I think any of those options are going to be fantastic. Now, one of the things that many of our customers ask for is an incredible train experience to partner with a cruise to Alaska. Now, this, of course, can be in Alaska proper, up in the north. I'll talk about that in a minute, but I just wanted to talk about Rocky Mountaineer. This is an incredible train option that can start in Seattle. Most popularly, it starts in Vancouver, but it heads up into the Canadian Rockies. This beautiful glass dome train, in addition to having some of the most incredible scenery, they have unbelievable service, food. They handle all the details for you. You can have a short trip all the way up to a really long trip, and you can even do it round trip where you head back to Vancouver or Seattle to start or finish your cruise. Now let's talk a little bit about the Radiance of the Seas, as she'll be doing northbound and southbound cruises. She'll be visiting the Hubbard Glacier, while the Serenade, of course, is visiting the Sawyer Glacier. Once again, both incredible experiences, and if you've already done an Alaska cruise, mixing and matching that may be something that you definitely want to do. Now, these longer cruises are a fantastic option for those who want to dig deeper. Keep in mind, the cruise is only 7 days, but the whole package can go all the way up to 18 days with Royal Caribbean. They book this as a seamless experience. They have ones that are family friendly. They also have all kinds of different options. What I love about that is it means either before or after your cruise, you can dig deep into the wilderness of Alaska. You can start in Fairbanks, head into Denali National Park, get over to Talkeetna, but my favorite area is actually Alyeska and down in the south, where you get to see the Kenai Peninsula. Some of the most beautiful sailing and wildlife experiences anywhere on our incredible planet. It is absolutely stunning. So you can mix and match. They have some pre's, they have posts. You can put it all together, and we would be happy to create this incredible land and cruise vacation for your time in Alaska. So whatever option you choose, you're gonna love your time in Alaska. And Royal Caribbean ships are designed specifically for their Alaska experiences. So reach out, we can dig deep with you, we can go over all the different options, but the most important thing to note is if you want one of those spectacular suites, they usually go within a couple weeks of release. So reach out to Harr Travel, our contact info is below. Of course, if you want to join us on July 15th, 2022, we'd love to have you, but whatever it is that you want to do in Alaska, reach out and we'll create the vacation of a lifetime for you, your friends, and family at an incredible value.